Just when people thought the courtroom saga was finally over, a shocking twist hit because Diddy's sentence has suddenly been reduced after more than a year of trial drama involving multiple women, and now reports say he could be walking out of prison early, which has 50 Cent furious with sources claiming he is doing everything possible to stop it. And now everyone is asking the same question: why was Diddy allowed to leave early when officials claim it is for good behavior, even though less than 6 months into his sentence, he was already caught breaking prison rules, which should have made his punishment worse, not lighter.
Prison early, not that much earlier, but a little bit. The New York Post reports the rapper will now be released on April 25th, 2028, instead of June 4th of that same year, 2028. The early release reportedly comes after he went into a rehab program in November. Diddy has been in prison since his September 2024 arrest. In July 2025, he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He is appealing that ruling.
Things became even stranger when people look back at November last year because prison staff reportedly caught Diddy inside his cell drinking and smuggling alcohol while celebrating something, and that violation should have disqualified him from any early release program. Yet somehow the opposite now seems to be happening.
Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff this week, in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds, according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety, which he made such a big point of emphasizing when he was sentenced, and whether this will have any impact on that sentence.
Diddy had pushed hard to be transferred to the Fort Dix prison facility, mainly because it offers a drug program that can shorten a sentence if inmates show clean behavior and avoid substances, but reports say Diddy failed those requirements after being caught making illegal phone calls to alleged victims and sneaking alcohol into his cell, which makes the official explanation questionable. And once you hear the other theory, the whole story begins to look very different.
People don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know, as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober? He'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC. And now he's at Fort Dix. And if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it. You're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence.
Right, so it don't work like that, but every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back, or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
If good behavior is not the real reason, then many people are remembering what Suge Knight predicted long before the sentencing when he said Diddy would never spend more than a year behind bars. And even if the sentence sounded longer, he would leave early. And according to that claim, the real reason is that Diddy had been working as an FBI informant and always knew the system would eventually let him go.
How does it go on for so long? When we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. So the reason why these type of people get caught up, they always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats. Sooner or later, Diddy is an FBI informant. He's been one a long time. So I don't believe that he's going to go to prison. And if he do, it'll be for something very, very small. It wouldn't be nothing what the people think. I don't think he's going to go nowhere long. And at the same time, you got to look at it. The best witness they had is KPD. KPD been an informant for a very, very long time. And KPD is getting ready to go to trial for the murder of Tupac. KPD said it, everybody else know it. And KPD says the money came from Puffy, the Key Rock, and myself. So if they really wanted Puffy that bad, KPD would have could have deal with them, down that stand, and broke it down. That'd have been the Rico right there. That'd have been higher right there.
Gene Deal also suggested something similar, saying he believed Diddy had connections with federal authorities, which made the arrest shocking to people who followed the trial close. And when Diddy managed to beat most of the charges, despite hours of footage showing alleged crimes, many observers felt the outcome simply did not make sense.
Puff was a millionaire. Him being a confidential informant, him getting money like that, it was favors. He been getting favors and been paying law enforcement people for years to protect him. You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody had, somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for a FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you.
The theory that Diddy may have been protected as a confidential informant is why some believe he could escape punishment even while investigations continue, but one person determined to stop. That is 50 Cent, who, according to reports, is willing to take the fight to the highest level, because rumors say Diddy might try involving Trump to clear himself, and 50 Cent has already said he would contact Trump to block that move.
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, you know, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down. Brother need to go down and stay down. That's what he's saying. So if Diddy didn't have enough problems, having 50 Cent on your ass is a problem. That's a problem. That's the only thing I can peel from it at this moment in time. I would love for 50 Cent to tell us what exactly is his disgust with Diddy.
This is not the first time 50 Cent stepped into the legal battle, because last year, when Diddy lawyers tried to secure bail, 50 Cent reportedly sent a letter to the judge urging the court not to release him.
Cent posted a letter.
Oh boy.
He said, "Dear Judge, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I fear for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class there. Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on his scandalous subject is coming soon. 50 played too much.
50.
Many insiders believe 50 Cent helped keep the spotlight on the case because his documentary pushed the story back into public attention. And after the Netflix documentary, Sean Diddy Combs' The Reckoning raised questions about Tupac murder. Tupac family reportedly hired a lawyer to investigate those claims.
It's confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
Around the same time, investigators connected to the Tupac case hinted that new criminal charges could still happen, and sources say 50 Cent convinced people close to Diddy to finally speak about the shooting, something police had struggled to achieve for decades because those witnesses trusted 50 and felt safe talking to him.
Let me ask you this. I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a murder trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
During that period, Keith D, known as the prime suspect in Tupac murder, released a statement claiming Diddy had ordered the hit, which shocked many people, but also matched what 50 Cent had been saying publicly for years.
Says that Davis was offered immunity during the Biggie Smalls investigation in the early 2000s. The filing reads, the three LAPD and FBI agents were part of a task force to solve the shooting of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, legal name Christopher Wallace. The task force, through a sophisticated criminal investigation, obtained sufficient evidence that would prove Mr. Davis was the leader of the Southside Crips and his gang was responsible for over 360 kilos of cocaine and PCP. Mr. Davis provided 3 interviews to obtain immunity from prosecution. The final interview were solely questions regarding the Tupac Shakur shooting, which Mr. Davis was also provided immunity from prosecution. So during a December 2008 interview with investigators, that is when Davis allegedly started to spill the beans about his one-time friend, Sean Combs, who he refers to as Puffy. He claims Sean Puffy Combs solicited Mr. Davis to Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur for $1 million. Eric Zip Martin, an associate of Puffy Combs, provided Mr. Davis with a gun to exact revenge on Tupac Shakur for the beating Mr. Anderson received. Now, Davis reportedly told the investigators that even though the job had been partially completed and Shakur was killed, neither he nor Anderson ever got paid. He later revealed that he believes Combs had paid the go-between Zip Martin, who he claims kept the money for himself. And he said much of the same thing in a 2009 interview a year later, because according to the motion to dismiss, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the Clark County District Attorney is now alleging makes Mr. Davis responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has offered no reason as to why it waited another 14 years to prosecute a case against Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has been irreversibly prejudiced by this unnecessary delay in prosecution of this case, and Mr. Davis's constitutional rights have been violated in an extraordinary manner never before witnessed in the annals of the American criminal justice system.
The footage included in 50 Cent documentary showed Diddy at very vulnerable moments, which insiders say is why Diddy fought so hard to stop the documentary from being released.
There's a couple things I'll share with you guys on what I took away from it, but Rob, maybe share the clip on how he got access to some of the footage of the documentary. Is this the one, Rob?
Yep.
Go for it.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
But according to reports, the story is far from finished because 50 Cent is already working on a second documentary that insiders claim is even more explosive, including footage Netflix refused to show for legal reasons, and 50 Cent has reportedly said he will release part 2 for free on YouTube if that is what it takes to expose the full story.
He might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this. I got on 50's Instagram account today, and I was just like killing some time earlier, and someone had posted a video where they were talking about the whole documentary, and they put out a theory that they think that he has even more footage and that he potentially is going to have a whole second part of this that might release. Now, this is all alleged. None of this is confirmed. This is people talking on Instagram. But 50 posted something to his own account that sort of, in a strange way, addresses this, talking about how he does seem to have these interviews and that he did get some of these other victims on camera. And so I think he might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this.
Allegedly, he said something similar to that on the Sherry Shepherd show. I hope so. When I tell you, I went through all 4 episodes in one city and then went back and watched it again. I want more. And now that he got everyone talking, imagine if he got 22 million out the gate on that one, I'm sure there's more, because there was so many more things he could have covered.
What makes the situation even more shocking is that Diddy could be leaving prison early while still at the center of new investigations, with reports suggesting dozens of probes are preparing to surface, along with more than 100 lawsuits, meaning there may come a moment when even powerful connections cannot protect him.
Getting a second battery claim against Sean Diddy Combs. According to the police report, the allegation was made in September in connection to an incident from 2020. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, details on this investigation, they're just beginning to develop, of course, but we do know the accuser is a music publicist and a producer. What more can you tell us?
So the allegations in this battery investigation date all the way back to an alleged incident from 2020 involving Combs and a male music publicist and producer who says Combs exposed himself to him after being invited to a photo shoot. According to that police report, the accuser says he was invited to the shoot at a Los Angeles warehouse related to an upcoming project. At that shoot, the accuser alleges Combs began masturbating under a shirt while watching pornography and then exposed himself, telling the accuser to assist. The accuser says he didn't respond to Combs, who continued before throwing that shirt at him.
This may explain why Diddy team appears to be trying to control the narrative, because only days after 50 Cent documentary went viral, Diddy Children announced a project with the Zeus Network to release their own documentary, and the trailer even showed that Diddy himself will appear in it.
Sean Diddy Combs' sons Justin and Christian are teasing a new docuseries about their family. Justin and Christian King Combs appear in a new trailer released December 28th to Instagram by Zeus Network's founder. In the trailer, Justin and Christian sit on a couch in a screening room while a series of headlines about their father cycle on screen. At the end of the trailer, Justin's phone vibrates and he answers a collect call from the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute, where Combs is currently behind bars. No release date for the docuseries is given, though the teaser says viewers can expect it at some point in 2026.
Meanwhile, 50 Cent documentary has reportedly created tension inside the industry, with some powerful figures calling him a snitch and rumors claiming he has received threats as executives tried to damage his reputation, something Gene Deal also warned about, saying Diddy could eventually retaliate.
Bruh, first of all, they're gonna try to get his baby mama stories, they're gonna try to get 50 baby mama stories. They're gonna try to get girls that he probably dated, that he had problems and issues with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to do the same thing they probably did to R. Kelly or Puff or whatever like that, and people tell their stories. You understand? But, you know, they trying to retaliate on what he did. Let him go ahead, bruh. Because I think he ready for it. You don't do this and you don't do the stuff that he did or sign on to the stuff that he did with Puff. Unless you got your shit in order. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. I believe 50 ready for it. If they come at him any kind of way. I heard that Diddy is trying to sue Netflix for $1 billion. Ain't nothing came up in court. That's just talk, bro. No paperwork has been put in and signed into that. They're gonna have to have a reason. If they were suing him and he had enough reason, why they didn't cease and desist the thing? Huh? If he had a leg to stand on, why they didn't cease and desist the documentary? That's just people talking. Headline news. Because had it been filed in court and they had a leg to stand on, they'd have been bringing that stuff down. Oh, we can't show it no more.
The controversy does not stop with Tupac because there have long been whispers about another tragedy involving the death of the notorious B.I.G., whose murder remains unsolved after he was shot in Los Angeles in March 1997, just 6 months after Tupac's death during the height of the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry.
Biggie, in his last moments in L.A., and he told Fat Joe that he didn't want to go to L.A., he actually wanted to go to London, but Biggie, he was the one that wanted to go to L.A., and he was the one that was pushing to go to L.A.
That's not true. My name is Kirk Burrows. I ran Bad Boy Entertainment. I helped co-found it. I created the company with him. I raised from general manager to president. And at that time, I put all of those business plans together. And Biggie didn't want to go to LA, ended up going. What got him out there was a week ahead of time to ease him into the whole award show. He may not have wanted to go to London, but was talked into it. First time ever a rapper of your stature getting this treatment, that would be something he would be interested in doing, but he was easily talked out of it by Sean so that they can make an appearance at an event in LA that Saturday night. A part of the posturing of not only did we come to the award show, not only am I recording my album out here, and Big is gonna help me with some of the writing and maybe do something out here where me and him did this song in LA. I'm out on the town. And it was just too much.
Some insiders have even claimed that Biggie sensed danger before his death, as if he knew someone might be coming for him.
Are you exaggerating? But you now as a rapper, people coming to get you.
I ain't exaggerating at all, man. That's real, son. That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff say. It just surrounds you. It makes you depressed, you know? So I gotta rap about it. And that's one of the bad things about the game is when you get large, even your friends will turn against you, man. So I made a song about it.
But I mean, how real is your threat of like people constantly coming and wanting to shoot you?
Man, I mean, that's real. I think about that every day. Every day it's real. That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to. I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really scared. I'll just be paranoid.
When you step back and look at the entire situation, the story feels far from finished. Because even if Diddy leaves prison early, the investigations, lawsuits, and questions around him continue to grow, and the fact that his appeal was accepted without major new evidence only makes the situation look even more suspicious. Now the real question is, what do you think was Diddy early release just coincidence, or is something bigger happening behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want updates on the Diddy case, the Tupac investigation, and the industry drama, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update.